Right, YouTube, Splasher. This game rapidly took over my life and my sanity declined from it. I am saying this, but as I look back during the edit of this video, I thoroughly enjoyed it and I thought these games were hard. So why did my sanity crumble into dust? Well, that's exactly what we're going to find out in this video. So welcome, I'm the Smiley, an achievement hunter who lets my viewers suggest, or in this case, donate games for me to complete on stream over at the Smiley on Twitch. You can catch me streaming all my progress live. You can even suggest the next game for me. But this game was kindly donated by a long-term viewer in the stream, Keys in 1996, who'd seen some of the other YouTubers and streamers such as 3 Point Gamer or Nick AR beat this game and thought it'd be great fun to pass that suffering upon me. Joking geezer, it was a very kind gesture and I am extremely grateful for it. But yes, you don't need to buy me any games, just suggest them in the comments of this video or over on Twitch. Enough self-promotion. What exactly is Splasher? If you've never seen anyone else play this or never played it yourself, then let me tell you, this game is criminally underrated. It seemed like it went under the radar and had a boosted popularity with the other guys' videos, but it was released back in 2017, developed by Splash Team, is a 2D platformer known for its cartoonish style graphics and hard challenging levels. There are a wide variation of hazards and enemies that must be avoided, with level designs that require extreme platforming precision and some unique mechanics that are introduced throughout the playthrough. We play Splashman, who is attempting to put an end to the experiments that Le Docteur is conducting in Incorp and has taken over the factory and imprisoned the workers. But I am not the only one that struggled with this game. If you watch any videos about this game, most people rate this in the hardest category, and they're not lying, boasting a 10 out of 10 difficulty across most guides and walkthroughs with an estimated time to complete of 50 hours. There's multiple playthroughs required and I found myself asking, why have I done this to myself? The hardest part's coming at the end. We've done some pretty challenging games in the past and this game has the same style of achievements which have a mixed bag of success or failure with in the past. For example, Splasher has a full game completion without dying. We've completed 3 games on this channel with this same achievement, Hollow Knight and both Ori games. Hollow Knight, you also have to get 100% completion on that game. I did it on my first attempt, so I thought we could have that same success here. Ori and the Will-O-the-Wisp was also a first attempt, however you could cheese this and reload a previous save file. Ori and the Blind Forest, 30 plus hours just to get this one achievement. So yeah, a very mixed bag when it comes to the deathless runs. Also, there's multiple full game speedruns to complete, segmented time trials, which again we've had varied success at in the past, but let me tell you, none of those games compare to the perfection as needed on this. As always, at the point of beginning a new game, we'll try and jump into the playthrough blind, only checking if there are any missable achievements before jumping right in to unlocking all 47 of the achievements for Splasher in that estimated 50 hours. The first step is just beating the game, dying a lot, but the main objective is to finish the levels and save all these little splashes that are scattered throughout each. Jumping into the first level, that these can be scattered about in hazards that we need to find and rescue. The game does really well in easing you in to learn some of the mechanics that this game has to offer. That along with the standard jumping and dodging that all 2D platformers have, and we are shown that the red paint is sticky, meaning that we can climb on walls, run along the ceilings if we see this paint already here. Saving this first splasher, the letter S, we are given gold paint that we'll need to collect in order to save the last splasher at the end of each level. We have to collect 700 gold to fill the meter and unlock the last one, but I'm getting ahead of myself. We are shown in this first level that paint and water mechanics are a massive part of this game and they can be used to manipulate obstacles to continue with the progress. The yellow paint is bouncy and as soon as we touched it we are pinged away from it, but this will be used for our advantage in later levels. We see Le Docteur, who's just being called the Doctor for the remainder of this video because my French accent is not the greatest. So the Doctor has captured one of the splashers and thrown him into the quarantine zone. In order to save them, we need to beat this bonus section which is called the quarantine zone, and these are found in most of the levels. Once saved, we make progress on and discover our first weapon, the water cannon, where we also get our first achievement.
Hey, just on water. Achievement unlocked.
We can use this to destroy these creatures, which once destroyed unlock platforms, stop lasers, or start other cannons. We can also shoot certain enemies to destroy them and also get gold paint. Shooting these spinning things, we get a lot more gold, so we need to find these in each level. Once everyone is saved and we've got enough gold, we're beating the first level. Just 21 more to go.
Rescue all the splashes from a level in standard mode. We struggle with standard.
So that was the first level's complete, and it went a little bit smoother than the second level.
Oops.
But at least we got another achievement. There are different variations to the level. Some are focusing on the yellow paint and have you continuously bouncing throughout. There's waterfall levels where you need to jump in them to boost upwards, and the physics can be a bit annoying in these levels. Chase levels where we need to be fast as the level is filling up with slime behind us. A few wind levels where we're constantly pushed to the right by the wind. There's 2 different types of laser levels. The red ones we must avoid, and the blue ones where we can stand in them, but not for too long. And finally, there's slime levels which can kill you in so many unfair ways. More on these later. We'll continue making progress through the levels, beating them, collecting all the splashes if we can. If we do miss any, we can come back to the levels and collect them later on. Before landing on level 6, at the end of the first chase sequence, we are granted with our second weapon in the red paint.
What's this? Get sticking. Get sticking.
We can now shoot this on command, making almost all the walls into a sticky mess that we can climb. It also works on enemies. These bigger guys are not affected by the water, but when covered in red paint, they can't deal any damage, and we can just safely move past them. But now for some quick fire achievements that we've got throughout this playthrough so far. Killing 100 enemies with water, killing an enemy with a saw blade using the environment, killing myself with toxic slime, killing an enemy that's flying, killing an enemy with a laser, being crushed by a door, dying at the same time as a splasher. This one just popped. I've not actually done what the achievement says we needed to do. I died, but the achievement is for killing 2 enemies with 1 laser. Ah well, we'll take it. For gaining all these achievements, we land on level 14, and after beating this level, we gain the final weapon, and we can now shoot the yellow paint to bounce everywhere.
There we go. Bounce, baby, bounce. Get bounce ink.
But we'll get some more random achievements whilst we're beating the next few levels. Drown an enemy in slime, have an enemy shoot another enemy, dodge a laser as soon as it's about to fire.
Way, Ethan Hunt close shave.
Save a splasher, but killing ourselves. Killing too many of the splashers that we were meant to be saving. Dying to the environment just as an enemy does the same. And then finally, we're hitting up the last level. We're first fighting against a boss and required to dodge and shoot all these parts before the final chase sequence. When we finally get to the end of this chase sequence, the doctor is caught, locked in a cage, and left to rot as we and almost all of the splashers leave, as we've still got a few to go back and save. But for beating the game, this achievement is ours.
Complete the game in standard mode. Achievement unlocked.
As we had some time left in this stream, we're finishing it up. We decided to go back and collect all the splashes we missed, unlocking a few more achievements along the way. Sticking 100 enemies with a sticky gun, beat a level without dying. It took a replay of a level to get this, meaning we've not done this naturally in all of the 22 levels we tried previously.
Complete a level without dying.
Completing all of the quarantine zones, and finally rescue all 154 of the splashers. Finishing off the stream, we beat one of the levels without jumping, leaving this stream ready for the next parts. Some of these levels we struggled to beat by just trying to finish the levels. When editing this video and watching back at how poor I was at this point, actually really made me laugh. I don't know if that's just because of the amount of time we spent in this game and how good we actually got at it, or if I was just really rubbish to begin with. At this point, we already knew the challenge we still had to do. We had only beaten one of the levels so far without dying, and you're telling me that I have to do at least 5 full playthroughs, all at speed, all as fast as we can do, realistically, without dying. This is going to be hard. So step 2, we tackled the individual level time trials. Now, to avoid just going through all the achievements for the next time trials and the full game speed runs, you do get an achievement for most of them for getting your first medal, getting your first gold medal, and for getting a platinum medal. We need to get a platinum medal on all of the speed runs, all of the time trials, and everything that we can get a platinum medal for in the game. To get a platinum time on each level to get these achievements, the game doesn't actually tell you what the time is that you need to get. The perfection that you needed to get a platinum time on these levels is a joke. I think that is what's put most gamers off going for this completion. There is no room for error in any of the levels. Miss a jump, restart. Wait for the next rotation, restart. Takes slightly too long shooting an enemy or waiting for them to move. You guessed it, restart. Die, restart. That tied in with the fact that none of these levels are easy. In the first stream that I had to go for these, I think I'd beaten the first level in around 2 hours, and that's nothing compared to the later levels.
Get your first platinum medal in time, Tyler.
Finally through my levels, really struggling until we come to level 14. Each restart we had to sit through the cutscene, and it started to drive me insane. At least there is only one more level with a cutscene. Level 15 is a shorter level. However, after thinking that I'd have a good run, I wasn't anywhere near this platinum time. I had to watch a guide, and I still didn't really understand where I could make up the time. You had to do a perfect jump twice to get over a saw blade, so I had to keep practicing this section. But we'll come back to this level last, as the jump was really hard. Level 21, the less said about this level the better. I think this is the hardest level in the game, and the amount of time I put into it in just this one level is bonkers. Just look at the time I got when I finally beat it. 0.01 seconds in front of the platinum time.
Oh my god.
I honestly could not believe it. At this point, I just couldn't get the final section down in my head. I was just dying over and over again at this point. But the final level, level 22, has an even longer unskippable cutscene at the beginning, and we repeated this by dying on the chase sequence over and over. And finally clearing up and beating level 50, we've done this step, and now the actual hard part of the completion begins. The full game speed runs and the deathless run. Kicking off with what I thought would be the easiest of the speed runs, the selfish speed run, and maybe pick up the deathless along the way. Who am I kidding? The deathless run is gonna have to wait. This is just a quick blast through the levels with the aim to get to the end of each as quick as possible, just like like a time trial section, but each level back to back. The struggle comes with the harder levels being at the end. You can practice them separately, but the pressure of being 16 levels deep in a speedrun is different to just practicing a level individually. That is if I can get 16 levels deep. The first step is just trying to beat 22 levels back to back. The setting a marker of time that I'd have something to beat, so that we can race against our PB timers and see faster routes, as well as seeing where we can take safer, slightly slower routes. Adding up all of the platinum times for each level that you need on the individual time trials, we are literally having to do this again, but for 22 levels back to back. I did the math and it works out we have about 8 or 9 seconds a level over the individual time trial platinums. 28 days after getting the last time trial achievement, I unlocked this, and I actually did go and check it myself. We beat it and we were ordered with a platinum time and also sitting 69th on the leaderboard at the time of recording. At this point, needed a break from doing the 45-minute attempt, so I decided to clean up all of the miscellaneous achievements that we'd not got to this point. The achievement descriptions aren't very explanatory, but here's what we got. Juggle an enemy with the bounce ink, finish a level with 699 gold, jump on a spiked enemy's head. No idea, I didn't get this one naturally. Ring the bell of the receptionist to annoy her. Watching the credits, stay within this blue section of Incorp, have 2 splashes touch, and that's it for the random achievements. There's just the hard ones left. First up is a standard speedrun. This one, we only have to save 80 out of 154 splashes, and it can be any of them, as long as you've caught enough. These last 2 speedruns also like to mess you up even more by making you have to find your way around the hub, which at this point we've not had to do since beating the game 60 full days ago. We were last in this hub, because the other speedruns, it was just load up the next level straight away. Just finding our way through the old world definitely won't come back to haunt there. We set out a plan of which splashes are the best to get and which ones we can avoid before tackling this speedrun. As with the selfie speedrun, we just tried to beat the game, setting a marker for us to grind down more and more. Up to this point, we'd ignored all of the splashes and just beat the level as quick as possible. And now we need to remember where they actually are. Back to the grind. At this point, I just wanted to get this game beat. So back to grinding. I was grinding off stream when I got into this run. So just beating level 17, making my way around to level 18 before going in the wrong level. Still on for a PB, so I thought I'd finish the run, setting up a new time. The only thing here that saved me from throwing everything out the window is I didn't realise just how close I was at this point. It wasn't until a few days later when we actually got the achievement. If I'd have not gone into the wrong level, we'd have done this a few days prior. Oh my god, we had the wrong time for the platinum as well. Our last platinum, oh my god, was 51:17. So we was literally a second off it. The next achievement I went for was a deathless run. I was grinding this off stream as well, as chat was getting fed up with me dying over and over again in ridiculous ways. No! Now, there isn't a time frame that this needs to be completed by, so you can take a lot of time beating each level, which you think would make this an incredibly easy compared to the other speedruns. As we've learnt with past games, just having a time frame isn't necessarily a free pass for an achievement. You can cheese it slightly, ever so slightly, by catching a pause if you're going to die, if you're quick enough. With all this together, it's still ridiculous. I was running attempts of this on stream and off stream. Almost every time I'd stop streaming, had a spare hour, as it took over my life. So much so that I had actually started going for this achievement before doing the standard speedrun attempt. Thankfully, I fired up a run off stream, just got it over the line. Oh, look at it pop up. Complete a speedrun without dying a single time. So the final step of my longest times before this game, going for one particular achievement, was Ori's deathless run. I think he clocked in around 33 hours in total, which was all streamed, and I made a video explaining just how hard and soul destroying that one was. Then Splasher, got and catch 'em all speedrun, thought, you know what, that's rookie hours. Remember, this game's guide reckons that it's 50 hours for everything. This took me 40 hours. You have to catch every single one of the splashes, which means all of the splashes in the main levels, all of the splashes in the quarantine zones, and that's so by having 700 gold at the end of each level. I hate this guy, and he's done nothing to me. I've been deep into runs, getting to the end of the level, only to be 10 short of the gold. But you know the score, setting a PB time just so we have a target and just to see how far we are. So I guess it's back to the grind off stream then. All night, all morning, every single spare second I had. Then after hours and hours and hours of restarting, beating the first 6 levels and doing something stupid, something really strange happened. I was speaking to one of the IT team at my real life job because I was having issues with one of my monitors before I'd broken it. And he said to me, when was the last time you updated your drivers? And I said, I don't know. I don't think I'd done this in 2024 to be fair. And it was currently July. So I updated my drivers. For some reason, the filling up of the meter at the end of the level sped up massively, saving around 2 to 3 seconds each level, saving over a minute in the speed run. At this point, I'm well within this being completed. And after 3 or 4 more decent attempts,
Yes.
I don't know who set the guide, but they must be a professional gamer, or I just suck. Probably the latter, in all honesty. I think the biggest part of my issue was trying to be perfect across the full game speedruns. The amount of practice that I had, I could quite easily complete a level without dying. The challenge came from doing all 22 at once, but we could afford to take the quick death and grind time back later throughout the run. Instead, I was just restarting everything. So let's look at this guide's estimate and see if we agree. Difficulty, 10 out of 10. This is a given. This is the hardest game I've beaten on the channel so far. 50 hours? Not a chance. Not a chance. This took me 149 hours. 3 times over the guide estimate. Would I recommend this game? If you like a challenge, then yeah, definitely. If you're more of a casual player, then no. Perfection on the speedruns will put most people off just playing the game. However, if you think you can beat my time, which isn't going to be hard to do in all honesty, or if you've already beaten the time, let me know. If you have a particular game that you want me to tackle next in our hunt for achievements, drop your suggestions in the comment below. Whilst I'm live over on Twitch, I'll add it to our ever expanding list of suggestions. If you found this achievement hunting adventure as thrilling as I did, before we go, make sure you smash that like button. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications to join the community. But for now, this is the Smiley signing off, and I'll catch you in the next one.